You're just in time. Saved you a seat for the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find aimed at male self improvement. And tonight, I'd like to take both of us on this journey, a journey to head towards as deeply as I can possibly go into why modern men feel as though love has become an impossible pursuit. This is for all my fellow kings who have given up on marriage, finding a wife, falling in love, finding the one. How about just finding a woman that is sane, you know, interested in what you're interested in, is willing to explore the vast depths of the mind, the body, and the soul with you and you, with her, and over time allowing that to develop into whatever it could be. Let's just maybe something like that. But it's really the whole picture of romance, of love, of connection, companionship, coexistence, cooperation, all of it. And it's for any kind of perspective you may be holding for your own life right now. I will never be able to do it. It's not possible for a man like me. Before I begin, I believe everything that's we're going to cover tonight, you do not even have to apply it to love. You could just as easily apply it to success, to living your best life, to achievement, goals, ambition, all of these great journeys for men to traverse who are curious enough to seek out their own, the pinnacle of their own potential, their own limits in terms of what life could be and how far they can really go and how long they can keep doing it. The reason why I want to aim tonight's episode specifically at dating and love and romance is because I am a man that believes throughout all of human history and for as long as human history will last, as far as a species as we will make it into the future, just all of it, I believe a deep inner a deep part of the inner core motivation for a man to do anything with himself, to engage with reality, to venture out into the possibility of existence, that is a woman. It really does all make sense when I think about it like this. Because a woman is the love of your life. This is the better half. This is in sickness and in health till death do us part, the good times and the bad, the ride or die. That's the wifey right there. But it's not just that. It's, I mean, nature would do its very best to bring a human male and female together in order for them to procreate, have a family, and continue the species. That's very that's a very biological description. I want to I want to pivot this the same frame. I want to pivot this into the masculine experience. So now it's not just, I mean, this is my girl. This is to provide and to protect and to support and to keep her safe, to spend my life with this woman. But then it's all the children that you would create and raise together. Now you have all of these beings that are extensions of what you love the most in this world. as a man and all the responsibilities that brings into our lives as men. So, with all of that being said, this is some of the greatest experiences a man could go through. I mean, we might not agree right there, but I believe when it is done in the right way, who is to even say what is the right way? But how about I say it like this? When it happens in the right way, when it is done properly, when you really go through the chaos and the dangers, the hazards, and the struggles and difficulties of life, but with those that you love the most, those that are dearest and most precious to you, the love of your life, and all the children you would have. That is the attempt at having that happily ever after, that best possible life for you as a man. Where does that all begin? This is what I mean by that deep inner core of, you know, arguably there are multiple motivational parts for guys to, really go out into this world and be great. I mean, you want to keep it super, super superficial and materialistic, then yeah, I mean, you could make it about the Lambo and the Ferrari, the Bugatti, the Rolly, the Fini, the Fitty, the Versace, the Gucci. You can make it about all those things, and you can make it about ego and respect and admiration, the fame, the prestige, the title, the respect and whatnot. Oh, how they will look up to me, how they're gonna applaud and cheer for me. Sure, you could pursue that in life as a man. It could be all about the money. It could be about business and empire building, Fortune 500 companies, all of these things. Again, that begs the question, why? It's not that all men are united on this front. I'm definitely not saying that. There are plenty of guys, I know this for a fact. I'd like to say I know this for a fact. There are plenty of guys out there right now walking around with their goals in hand. Men who have dedicated their entire lives to really building those businesses and those companies, these massive conglomerates and corporations, and they actually do have the private jet and the vacations and all the luxury and all the sports cars and all the fame, the accolades and the titles. It's kind of crazy to me to do all of that a significant, without a core why. So much of male endeavor falls back on the why being a woman. That's what it really is. I know how that sounds, but I'm not talking about just physicality. I'm not talking about being able to, you know, on command, make love to a super beautiful and attractive woman whenever I want to. And I'm not talking about dominance or like control over somebody else or anything like that. I'm really trying to get at that grand vision, this very dreamlike depiction within, I want to say, the majority of male imaginations when we are alone and we're thinking about what kind of life do I really want for myself. And at that moment, if it's any kind of life of any kind of value, I, better than this, not here, there, somewhere, over there. And you take aim and you try, you try and you go, you embark, and you're willing to stay on that journey for as long as possible to really try and make it all the way. When you're really thinking about doing all of that, most often what will come attached to this line of thinking, this train of thought, is I want there to be a woman, and the right one for me. That is completely different. So this is one. This is I am filtering this through specifically monogamy. But if it's the one, if it's the right one, before I even graze the whole process of finding out and making sure what, right? Does a man make sure, oh, this is the right one? And I'm leaving all of that alone. I'm just saying, when you think about that in your own head, this perfect woman, so to speak, again, it's not that she exists or she doesn't exist, but it's your desire for her. Your desire for this woman that just, she gets it, she gets you. Okay? She's there for you. She's not there for the stuff. She's okay. And before you run away with this, you may already, like, when you hear me starting to talk like this, a lot of guys can you can see your own brain, right, kind of plummet into doesn't exist. That's not real. Whatever Kuma was about to get into, that's just not reality. You know, like, oh, I'm talking about unicorns, not women. But hold on, brother. That's not my point, though. My point is, when within you, as a man, you and I, we're kind of, you're forced to conceive something to fuel this great journey. It's not that technically you don't have to, but I mean, okay, on this podcast, I could not imagine doing it without one. That's what I'm saying. Okay, to really do it just to do it, very robotically, very just without any kind of reasoning behind it. I mean, is that madness? I don't know. I don't know what you would call that. To just every single day, that kind of grind, just trying as hard as you can all the time, every single day for the rest of your life, for no reason at all, could not be me. Couldn't be me. And so that's what I mean. Finally, if this works, my first point finally comes full circle. That brings you all the way back to when you're thinking about, I need to change. I need everything to change. I really do need to do better. And because I want to have better. Ultimately, you as a human being and as a man, you want to be better. So much of that, when you're talking about this ignition, this spark of the reason why you would, that comes from this ideal of the dream woman. That's when she appears. Because maybe, possibly, if I can do everything that life will demand of me to even put me in that spot, to even give me the opportunity to have, Like, oh, to have her, to have, wait, no, that one, the one meant for me. Oh, what's the term for this? The soul mate. Whether or not she is real, that kind of motivation is what really sparks something in here to try and to change. This is a very primordial source of motivation for a man. It has been like this for a very, very long time for good reason. Again, as I mentioned earlier, all of it points towards ensuring the human race will continue. The human race can only continue when a man and a woman would join in this unity. So, this is really okay. Now we can really start heading along now and go deeper into this, because it's at this point, and I guess this actually is the reason why I wanted to specifically use love for tonight's episode, because it's right here after everything I've said so far. It's right here. Everything stops short. It's like it falls off a cliff, or it runs into this titanium steel wall, just straight, just boom, right into a dead end. And that dead end is the disbelief everything I just said and everything you've just heard is not real, that it's impossible. That is what I want to untie for you tonight. It's not that it is impossible. I believe the focus is on the wrong thing for trying to solve this problem. And okay, to really, fully clarify what exactly is the problem, maybe you've noticed this. I notice it's like crazy. Well, that's kind of because of the things I like to talk about is wow, this one really gets me. It's because it's more tragic than anything else. This is just when you look at this situation, you're kind of just like, oh God, why? Why is this happening? This is awful. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's really just one of those where we have so many men who are declaring dating is just not possible. It's not something that's worth doing anymore. Like guys checking out of it. No. And again, you might already be able to think of multiple reasons why it is a really bad idea for any guy to try and date nowadays. But it's not that those reasons aren't real. I very quickly, I want to really be super quick, because this isn't where I'm trying to go, but it does need to be acknowledged when you're having a conversation like this. It's impossible not to mention. I am aware of how the courts work nowadays within the United States when we're talking about divorce. I'm aware of the power a woman has just by word of mouth, just by her word versus his. I'm very well aware. I am aware of the standards. Okay. Like, whoa, what standards? How about I just drop the super simple 666 rule? I think it's hilarious that it's called the 666 rule. But I mean, hey, okay, is it really that funny when we're talking about what women want? And from what I've heard, right, at least 6 feet tall, making at least six figures, has to have that six pack. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, very, very stereotypical and very bare minimum, which is kind of crazy to think about it like that. Oh, that's just to get your foot in the door. Okay, I know, I know this is it's almost as if the more you and I continue, the more difficult it really just makes me to prove my point of it's not impossible, but that is to look at what dating has become. But that doesn't mean what dating has become is your problem. That's what I'm trying to say. The problem is completely different. And the reason why is because, so to begin with, you and I, we have to look at who our opponent is. Like, who's the enemy here? What is going on? How are we getting clobbered? And so I believe the enemy is these are all of my reasons, my justifications, my rationales, and maybe even excuses for why I believe what I believe. Some of these can be very robust, very well founded. Well, I tried to, in what I just said, I tried to touch upon a few of them, like the courts and like the whatnot, and what women want, and all of this, and like how much you making, and like how tall are you after puberty? Yeah. Oh, I mean, these are all things that are being factored in for the chances. If you want to talk about percentages, the chances of, okay, am I really going to find the one for me? Am I really gonna, all right? And then you do those calculations in your head and it becomes a nightmare. A lot of our fellow kings are declaring, I'm going to be a lone king for the rest of my life. Because a lot of guys, they do these calculations and everything is being taken into account, such as, and this is just, very stereotypical. This is stereotypical and a hypothetical example, but it is very real though. For a man to say, but this is my height. Regardless of what society wants from me, this is my height. And this is what my face really looks like. I'm not undergoing some kind of crazy facial reconstruction surgery or anything like that. This is just really what I look like. And this is how much I make right now. And this is what I'm into. And this is how I am. I'm introverted. I'm extroverted. I'm omniverted. A little bit of everything. I'm both. I like this. I dislike this. I love that. I hate that. This is who I am. And so the dead end, as a man, and you're wondering, oh my God, I'd be so motivated if, my dearly beloved, like my darling, my one true queen, she was by my side and really was cheering me on, loved me as much as I love her. I would do all this stuff. Like if you could, like say it to me, if you were next to me right now, not we were not separated by the internet, then you actually really might say to me, "Oh, Kuma, I would do it. I would really do it. I I would I would try as hard as I can every single day for the rest of my life." But see, and then you and I slam into the dead end because you and I wake up, we open our eyes back to reality and see she's not there. She's not real. Does not exist. This just got very what's that? 2077 Blade Runner. 2077. Was it 20? I forget the year. 2040. Okay. But yes, the Blade Runner movie. Okay. And he's with the bloody nose and he's walking out. Okay. And then he sees the big purple giant neon 3D, hologram woman. and you pale. You lose all hope. That's why I'm calling it a dead end. Everything cuts off right there. With one belief, brother, with one, I can't have her. Of all lives, of all existences, right? Isn't it? Right? You familiar with this infinite parallel universe theory? There is a slightly different version of you to infinity. All right, you and all other versions of you, and right that feeling, and it's very all consuming. It is very evil, and it will kill you. Even, I argue, even if you're alive, because you won't live. You're alive, but you won't live, because the thought is when you do all those calculations, you take everything into account, like from what we grew up with this. You see it every single day. With the powers of the internet and AI and social media nowadays, you literally cannot unsee it. You can't get away from it unless you literally, move to an island or off the grid or go straight, wild mountain man or something like that. I maybe one day in the far future, I definitely can't do that right now. So that means, yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck right here, right now, with the very vivid imagery and the comparisons shoved in our faces all the time. Oh, okay. So this is what you need to be, but this is who you are. This is you right now, as you are. This is you. And that leads you into the conclusion and the belief, oh, wait, so because I had to be born as me, because I had to have this kind of life, out of all lives I could have had, it's this one. And this is the one where it's impossible for me. Because once again, remember, as I just said, because I look like this, I act like this, I behave like this, I talk like this, I like this, and I dislike that, and I love this, and I hate that. And this is how much I make, and this is how tall I am, and this is what my face looks like. So now with that being said, I feel as though I can reveal the full extent of the problem. This is what I mean. The problem for you, me, any man who is serious about finding the love of his life, it actually doesn't have to do with anyone or anything else in this way. That isn't the issue. Because the dead end can only, I don't even want to say break through it. It's not even like that. Because to say to break through, that connotates a lot of effort, a lot of power and force. You have to shatter this titanium steel wall, right? With your own bare hands, okay? And it sounds epic and it sounds like a superhero movie or something like that. But I think how it actually happens is it actually will vanish. It will actually disappear. There is no wall. Okay. For you to see that, for you to see it like that, oh, there's nothing in front of me. There's nothing but a clear path to my best life. That has nothing to do with what anyone else says and with the standards of society. That has nothing to do with what even women are asking for. These are all things to be taken into account, to be factored in, and for you to take careful consideration of. But no, bro, the real problem is you don't enjoy being you. That's what this is. That's where it all comes from. This is the first and the last enemy to really unlock your best efforts. Because if you take that right there and you play with it and you run with it, if you're willing to dive into it and explore it for yourself, okay, I don't enjoy being me. And to help you, I'm actually going to do it myself. I will go first. So for me, then it's a ton of self awareness and self consciousness for me. I don't enjoy my life because I wish, like, you have to really, it goes deep. This is what I mean by this is the journey you and I are taking tonight. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not tall enough. Like, this is just me. I'm not tall enough. I'm not facially handsome enough. I'm not able to talk about what I really am trying to do in life. I'm ashamed because I'm not making tons of money off of it. It's not shiny in any way. I'm not able to show it off like that. Like, oh, this is what I do and I love it, but look at everything that it got me. It's not like that. It's just all I have right now at this point in my life is the love of what I do. And it keeps going. And it keeps going. All of these insecurities, all of these truths, these facts of my life, it's all very real. And that isn't the issue, though. That's not the actual problem. The actual problem is the consequence of revealing these struggles of my life. It's not the struggles themselves, right? And those consequences, they maybe like you, maybe like other men as well, they eat me alive, bro. And what I mean by this is it makes you wish. It takes you away from reality. You get very delusional here. Because I wish I wasn't this short. I wish I was taller. Then I'd be fine. You probably already see where this is headed. Oh, if my face was just like that, if it would just look like this, like, where do you get this from? You don't get this from you. That's not how this works. It doesn't come from you. My argument is, you were fine. We were all fine until we were shown at whatever point, at whatever age, whatever, we were shown. Oh, you don't matter. This matters. Do you see, bro? The steel cut jawline. The big wide googly eyes. Right? That perfect hairline, haircut. Okay. Perfect skin. The the facial structure, the musculature, the body frame, the genetics. All of that was so, I want to say strategically and very precisely crafted and hung up for all of society to see. You and I live in a society where it's never been easier to look at something, whatever, that someone else is hanging up. And over time, it digs itself into you. Formative years, adolescence, preteen, teen, late teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. Your whole life. all the time, like some kind of evil deity that hangs above you and me. Remember, whoever you think you are, unless you're this thing, this image, this portrayal, this depiction, this mold, unless you're that, you don't get to, or you cannot, or it's over for you, or it's impossible. Do you see? So how do you break from that? How do you get rid of this? You have to replace it. You have to take it down. You have to absolutely get rid of it. And what you put in its place is you. It has to be you. I have to accept it's okay for me to be this height. It may not be okay for the rest of the world. The rest of the world cannot matter when it comes down to this. Because this one is just for you. You're the one that has to get over this. If you can, the dead end, there is no dead end. There can't be. Because you're okay with being you. That's the work. That's the real work. This is why it precedes all, like everything else. And it's not to ignore everything else. But if you don't have this one, nothing else really works. You don't make it to all of that other stuff in life. It's a very self-limiting belief of I can't go like this. I can't show up like this. I could, you see, I could show up if I was like, none of it's real. It's all illusion and delusion, like a mirage that you're trying to work with. When all along, you and I were born into being able to work with ourselves, our own lives. It's all you need because it's all you have. That does not have to give you despair. That doesn't have to break you down, bro. No, absolutely not. In fact, it can go the other way. It can take you to whatever you're trying to do in life, wherever you're trying to go. Because you will go. If you enjoy you, if you can be self-secure, if you can be comfortable in here, and what needs to get comfy, super snug, is this. I believe this is the command center for everything that you and I perceive. So it's really right here that's not cool, that's struggling, that's fighting, that's despairing, that's depressed, that's super upset. It's this right here that this is what it has to work with. But working with this is awesome. It's fantastic. It's absolutely spectacular. Because you are. Because you are, bro. If you never had anyone ever tell you you're actually supposed to be like this, if instead all our lives we were told, you be the best you. Be the best you. Oh, yeah. I see. You were born like this. You were born like that. You were born with whatever. That characteristic, this personality, that ailment, this disability, that whatever. But this is you. And that's what you build off of. That's what you take as far as you can in life. It's the moment that is separated, and it becomes You need to become. You need to be that. Something that isn't possible for you to be because that isn't you. Be you. Guys don't want to be themselves. If you are not able to enjoy living your own life, if you are not able to be comfortable embodying yourself, then, brother, see, this is what I mean. Motivation, even as powerful as as the female human being, doesn't matter. None of it matters. It all crumbles. None of it works in this way. Because you don't want to go, and you don't want to go. It's because you wished that you are not you. When you flip this and you take this the other way, and instead you can work, you can do whatever you need to do to get to the point where I love doing this as me and being me. That's when you go. That's when you'll go as far as you need to for everything that you want, for everything that you've always deserved. That's it right there. And so that's why it's not to pretend all these other problems in life do not exist, but they matter so much less than this problem right here. You have to understand that's where the work comes into play, because it can't be. It's not. Well, I hate my life because I don't enjoy living it as myself. You know, if I was Chad, if I was Ryan Gosling, if I was Henry Cavill, right, the fantasy, then I would love my life. If it was Bill Gates' son, Elon Musk's son, if I had it all, then I'd love my life. I could not be further from the truth. You have every reason to love your life, because living your life as you are and who you are, that gives you a very, very unique, an individual set of struggles. These struggles, your willingness to face them and confront them and go through them, that's what really does lead you into the best possible version of yourself. That is how you unlock the love to be you, because only you can fight the struggles you have. As you continue along this path, what you are doing is you are self-improving. You are fighting for the very best version of yourself you were always meant to be. Because at that point, it is inevitable. It has to happen. It has to happen. You will go. And because you go, you are living truly as you. When you do that in life, then it matters so much less. Maybe I meet her, maybe I don't. Maybe I make it, maybe I don't. Maybe I hit the big bucks, maybe I don't. Maybe I succeed, maybe I fail. It's knowing that you wouldn't do it any other way, though, because to do it any other way would not be you. This framing that I'm trying, so hard to really clarify. This one perspective right here, you have to do what is necessary. Again, I'll try to use myself here to help. I really had to get to the point where I had to love all parts of me, however flawed I thought they were. It's not other people. Other people are other people. They're right. They're always going to be able to say what they want to say because they are their own person. But when it's you and you, bro, and when it's you telling yourself you aren't good enough and you are too short, too ugly, too dumb, too whatever, then that's the life you live. Just like that. But I mean, this is more than just positive affirmation. This is more than just you know that meme, with the guy like very forcibly sticking his finger at himself, right, pressed right up against the mirror. It's like much more than that, because it's actual action. It is to then do, and there is so much to be done. I mean, take your pick. If it's facial dysmorphia, then that's a lot of, I mean, that's possibly therapy. That's a lot of introspection. That's a lot of self-reflection to be had. That's a lot of self-love that must be cultivated. If it's body dysmorphia, if it is an issue of physical health, that's a lot of exercise to be done. That's a lot of workouts to really try to get into. Okay, to enjoy the lifestyle, to enjoy the act of building your best version. And then at that point you play a completely different game. You get off of the game they wanted us to never realize we were born into playing, where it's you versus you've this impossible cookie cutter perfected mold. It's perfected because it's not real. These are very perfect and precise angles in the skin tone, in the facial symmetry, all of it. It's all perfected. That wasn't the point. I don't like, here at the Pillars of Man, I truly believe that that's not the point. The point is to perfect yourself, you, because the perfect version of you will have the finest things in life that you really are looking for. I'm not going to tell you, just because you put in all the hard work and you do everything that is necessary to become your best self, that ultimate final form of you, that best version of you, is going to have everything that you want in life. I can't tell you that, bro, because to me, that's just not how life works. That's why you can't say it like that. What I can say is that living like this will be the most enjoyable way to live. Because there are few joys in life that are greater than seeing you overcome, than seeing you do better, seeing you grow, seeing you really you're working with it. You are contending. This is you in the ring. You are swinging. You're taking hits. You're weaving and bobbing and ducking. Okay, the footwork, the left, the right. That will always be better. That will be infinitely more epic, more glorious, more powerful, more. If you remember way earlier tonight, I said spectacular. I think I said magnificent. I said amazing, wonderful, because that's what that is. That's you. You couldn't describe it in any other way. This is a man giving everything he has for everything that he wants in life. And it's game over if you enjoy it. Because then, that joy, and it grows and it grows, it becomes so much less of what you do in life. And you must allow it to become who you are. Who you are is to enjoy yourself trying his very best. That's it, brother. That's it. That's it right there. There is no other version of you. I don't care how, but it's not how many. It's infinite. It's forever. That's the number. There's no end. And I still don't care. That many different versions of you, it doesn't matter. Because this is the one you got. This is the only one you need. This is the one where you take it above and beyond. Doing that is how you become a man who can really, I want to. When you want to, then it actually doesn't really matter if you get it or not. It's that you'll try. I'm trying to, I wanted to, I'm almost out of time, but I'll end on this. I just really wanted to give you what I believe to be the, this is the most surefire. This is the most likely pathway to everything that you really do want in life. It's the one with the most amount of opportunity, and it's also the one with the highest chance possible. 0 through 100, pick your number, but it's the highest one. The number doesn't even really matter, but just the simple fact that it is the highest. I mean, okay. And you know what? For a second, let me play that game real quick, because a man could despair if his number was revealed to him and that number really was 30. Then, right, logically speaking, you calculate that super easy. A guy would be like, okay, no, I'm not going, I'm not trying, I'm not doing anything. What you kidding me right now? 30% chance of success, and that's me at my best. Get the But if you knew that's all you needed, because it was just that 30%, bringing it to 30% out of 100% chance, which is guarantee, 30% chance of success. And that's the number you're working with. This is not actually you. I'm just making this up because I want to prove this point. And you maxed out. You're fine. Like, this is the best of you in life, your whole life. And you brought that up. The number really is 30, but 30 is the woman of your dreams. You couldn't say. 30 is all your kids that are waiting to be born, waiting to meet you. 30 is the career that you care about, that's meaningful for you. You actually want to do this. It's more fun than any video game you could possibly play. It's more interesting than any show or movie you could possibly watch. You can't say that. You can't say 30 is not enough. You don't know. None of us do. That's why knowing it's the highest is enough. Because, brother, until you live it, until you get there, until you go, until it's happening, you'll never be able to say it wasn't enough. That's not real. That's just a trick to make you give up. That's not life. For all you know, when you lock in and you give it everything you got and you try as hard as you can, that's how you meet her. So the last thing I'll say for tonight to wrap everything up is I love this. I love this frame and the way that I tried to flesh it out tonight, because anything that you can come up with as a counter, okay, but modern women are, it's so much. Oh Lord, it's so much. Western women, okay, but the likelihood, and the amount, 10,000 hours, I only have this much time, and it's going to have to happen while I'm paying my bills. And then, like, when you factor everything in, no, yeah. No, I'm with it. I see it. I acknowledge it. I mean, you have to accept it too. It doesn't matter what you say. It does not matter what you say. Hey, by all means, take this challenge head on. You let me know down in the comments below. But it doesn't matter what you say, because until it's happened, then it doesn't matter. Until you actually really are. I lived my best life. I became my best version. I gave it everything I had for my entire life. This is what I have to show for it. That's when you'll know. And so now I leave it in your hands, brother. You have to be very careful here. You have to be very careful, because what had always belonged in your hands, because these were your treasures, your blessings, and your gifts that were always meant for you, you give them up. You forfeit them. All because you didn't believe that even trying was ever worth it. Because you and we fell prey to this dead end that does not exist. I really hope this helped. Hope you got some value out of this. And I really, my aim is to help dispel some of the negativity surrounding you for going out there and trying as hard as you can. And if you're ever looking for a place where at least one man is doing the same, then by all means, you come check me out. That's what I do here. I talk a little bit of everything and anything that goes into all of this, because you're watching the Pillars of Man, your number one podcast for the best conversations you could find, aimed at male self-improvement surrounding philosophy, masculinity, wellness, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Kumo. I continue to reshape the modern male reality, giving any man who wishes to pull the very best out of himself a way to do that. Thank you for watching, bro. Hit that subscribe button for me. If you're looking for more content like this, give me a like as well. I'll hope to see you real soon in my next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.